Good evening, everyone. My name is Jasper Dalgliesh, and my colleague Charles. We represent Folderise, a very young company over here in the UK. We've brought over from the States a brand new software engine that has quite a big impact. And we've been attracting quite a lot of attention, not just in the banking sectors, but also management consultancies, lawyers, and accountants. Folderise has an engine that has the ability to actually look at different types of documents and recognize them as you would looking at them yourself with your own eyes. So it could be a Word document, it could be a PDF, or it could be a JPEG or a TIFF, which are not readable by normal OCR. It'll recognize them all and be able to put them into the correct folders. Charles will tell you more about it. But the problem is that you end up with all these documents in unstructured data, and you're going, how am I going to actually start sorting this out? And as you'll know, there's quite a lot of legislation coming down the road next year with GDPR and MiFID about all companies having to know exactly where all their data is. So you have a problem with all this data. Folderise can look at it all. It doesn't matter what the file format is, and you'll end up with all the same documents in the same folder. So all your tax returns, all your contracts, all your invoices, all your purchase orders will all be in one folder. And from that, Charles will tell you how it actually does it.
Thank you. What it does is it takes a scan of that image. And the analogy I'll draw is a 5-year-old. And I have a 5-year-old, but I've also got some older ones as well, so a tiny bit of experience there. And you hand that 5-year-old a pile of documents. And you ask that 5-year-old to put all those documents into piles according to how they look. Now, your 5-year-old can read, but they can't comprehend. But that 5-year-old will put all those documents in the correct piles. Why? Because they'll look at the documents and they'll say, well, that looks like this and this looks like that. And that's what we do. We generate a waveform, as you can see, and that waveform is an appended file that forms the signature image. And then we then compare that signature image with other files that look similar. And hence, we now have a folder structure. Lots of different applications, some grown-up applications now rather than 5-year-olds. Document categorization, and I'm not going to read them all out, but there they all are. And examples might be M&A, it could be security, it could be data leak protection, and other areas. Let's look at some of the things that are simple about it. In terms of our own software, it's a SaaS application, if you'd like it to be a SaaS application. It's also an application that can be placed upon internal servers within an organization where that information has to be secure. It's intuitive and it's easy. That's also important. It's got a graphical user interface that is very, very simple. It's a per-click basis, so it depends on how many documents it looks at, and that's how we charge you. It's consistent, so you can employ perhaps a graduate, you pay them £25,000 a year, but by Friday afternoon, they've really had enough of opening files and trying to put them into different folders. Now, there are lots of eDiscovery software out there. That's important. But what we do is we find the unreadable files, the TIFFs, the JPEGs, the unreadable PDFs. And it's simple. What I'd just like to add to that is that we have a search functionality where you can go out and you can look for specific files, and we also have a system where you can run those files through an automated process. So every time you insert a file into your folder system, it'll find that file, it will tag that file, and it'll apply a meta tag to that file. So it allows you to attach a lookup a register with a small bit of add-on software, a bit of OCR add-on software. We can then apply meta tags so that when you need to look for files later on, you have got those files identified. Thank you very much indeed.
Any questions?
Who controls the meta tag, and how does that be accessed?
Sorry, say that again, I missed that.
Who controls the meta tag, and how is that accessed?
The operator, yourselves. So we set up the rules that govern what you're looking for. So using a system which then will look for example, an account number, look for a name, look for a title.
So that's created by the user?
That's created by the user as part of the graphical user interface.
Right, so you still have to tag the file and know what it is before you can meta tag it? I'm just trying to understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you create archetypes. So what you do is if you say, okay, we're looking for, an example would be a US mortgage company that's beginning to use us now that gets 10 million documents per month. And those documents come in PDFs with a massive other files. And you've got to look for a HUD-A, which is an American file to do with mortgages. You can then identify that. You identify where on that file you're looking for the name, the account number, etc.
Does it extract that information from the file, or do you have to tag the file?
No. It extracts it. As that file passes through the engine, it'll find that piece of information. Okay. And so where you have multiple documents, and multiple documents that might be varied as well, as long as you identify exactly what you're looking for. So yes, there's a bit of machine learning in there. Yes, you have to tell it, but if you've got a further 9,999,999, then you don't have to do all of those.
So if I create a sub-tag, say for an RBC meta file, will it automatically search to determine what documents I have that are from RBC?
You can do a search for a specific document, so you can ask it to go find that document, and it will go find it.
If I hadn't saved it with that, it wouldn't tag it. That's the question. Sorry, I'm just trying to...
No, that's fine. But if it's run it through the machine, it's already got a bit of learning as to what it's seen already. So yes, it'll find it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks very much.